Hello, how is everybody doing today? It is Tuesday, the 18th of August, 2020, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the brand new PSP Hertz Rider 2. We're going to be taking a look at what's new, what's improved, and whether the update justifies the price. Way back when, I did a demo of the original PSP Hertz Rider. I took a bunch of loops, drum, bass, piano, put the Hertz Rider on each of them to see whether I could add some flavor, and this is what I got. So I thought, why not take those original loops and see if I could improve them using the updates that come with the PSP Hertz Rider 2. So that's what I did, and this is what I got. Let's go through each of the updates in turn and look at how I use them to add a little extra flavor to the different instruments in the production. But first, let's take a quick look at the interface and how it has changed from the Hertz Rider to the Hertz Rider 2. First up, we can see that the Hertz Rider 2 is a bigger GUI. And you can see that to accommodate the extra options, the preset menu that used to be at the bottom is now sitting at the top. And in its place, we have the various controls for the updates that come with this new version. Personally, I'd have liked to see some kind of advanced kind of drop-down menu, something you could click and just open up. I think that would have kept it a little tidier. Having said that, this is still very nicely laid out. It's very intuitive, very easy to use. Let's start off by looking at the sync option, and I am really pleased that they added this. This is something that I felt the original PSP Hertz Rider was missing. It just felt a little incomplete without it. So I've set up both the PSP Hertz Rider and the Hertz Rider 2 on the same piece of percussion. With the Hertz Rider, it sounds like this. With the Hertz Rider 2, and the sync option, it sounds like this. It's just that little bit sharper. Let's have a listen to the Polarity option that works with the new sync option. And we'll go back to that first percussion loop, and this time we're going to take it out of solo and listen to it in the context of the entire production. And we're going to start off with the polarity set at 0. And you can hear it's not really standing out from the piano. It's kind of getting lost in there. Let's play the same loop again, but this time let's set the polarity down at -1/115. And you can hear just by changing the polarity, it's now standing out from the piano much more easily. Next up, let's have a listen to the new envelope follower. And to do that, let's take a look at what's going on with the drum loop. So right now, we've got the PSP Hertz Rider 1 set. Pretty nice, nothing special. Now let's drop the Hertz Rider 2 on it. Everything else set the same. In addition to that, we're also using the envelope follower. And you can hear there's just that little bit more variation in the drums. They're just shifting about that a little bit more. And it's making them sound a little bit more alive, a little bit more interesting. Now let's have a look at how the external sidechain works with our envelope shaper. So I've queued up our piano loop, and we're also going to have the drums playing. And the reason we're going to have the drums playing is because we're going to be using the drums to trigger our sidechain. First up, let's have a listen to the piano with just the sync option. Next, let's add in the envelope follower but with the sidechain set to internal, so just playing off the piano itself. Not very good. It's kind of messy. So let's throw the sidechain from internal to 100% external. So now it's being triggered by the drums. Instant vaporwave. The sync option, frankly, I think was long overdue. It really completes the kind of basic set of tools that the PSP Hertz Rider needed. It allows you to shape the behavior of the Hertz Rider in a much more musical way. The Polarity option is surprisingly subtle and is genuinely very, very useful and allowing you to sit it in the mix much more easily. The envelope follower brings a much more percussive option to the Hertz Rider and opens up an entire new dimension of creative options. It also allows for introducing very subtle variations to make loops and program drums feel much more natural. Honestly, the internal-external sidechain, when I first read that that was part of this update, I was a little bemused by that. But the more I started to think about it, the more I thought that it could be really interesting. And in fact, if anything, it's kind of my favorite part of this update. I love what it did to that piano. The way that it introduced that little bit of variation by sidechain into the drums. It's a fascinating option to have. Would I have liked some kind of drop-down menu for the advanced options? Yes, I think it would have looked a little tidier, a little bit more professional. But having said that, the interface remains very intuitive, very satisfying to use. It works very well. With the upgrades that PSP have brought to the Hertz Rider 2, they have taken what was already a very functional plugin and they've added a whole host of additional dimensions of usage and creative possibilities. That on one hand, it can be this very creative tool and give you great effects. But on the other hand, it can also be an extremely practical and subtle tool that will help you craft your mixes and give you additional different options for making instruments stand out in the mix, contrast each other, and cut through the mix. The PSP Hertz Rider is a very good tool to have in your toolbox. If you'd enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Until next time, good night and good noise, stay safe and stay healthy.